Well, basically, you know, me and this lad here are going to be out in the good old fucking Iraqi countries in a couple of months, and to be honest with you, well, we're joining the services, aren't we?
You've joined the army?
No, I'm joining the Royal Marines. He's joining the Navy. Happy days, but the thing is, you know, I don't agree to racism because obviously, fucking, you can't give Pakis shit in that because they're obviously different. And all I'll say is that. Basically, I'm fighting for my country, and if they want to blow up our country, I'll blow them cunts up. To be honest, they're a different colour than me, and I'm up there seeing that different colour blasted all over the floor.
What do you think about this? Some of the comments that have been made so far today.
I think maybe people have had too much to drink and they're a bit excited.
Well, they say in vino veritas, though. I think that I don't think that they're not speaking. You're talking about your own opinion, aren't you?
Get Charlie out! Get Charlie out! She's a nigger!
You're talking about Big Brother.
Racism, basically, yeah. All it is about Muslims. They come over to our country and bomb us. All we got to do them is a bit of respect, and all we got to do is bomb them back, and then all the world is equal. I say hallelujah to that, my friend! Oi, mate! Oi, all we got to do, yeah, is bomb them countries back, the whole country, nuke the cunts, and they'll be fucking mellow. That's all we've got to do, and then the world will be fucking equal. That's all I tell ya. I love you, blood. Fucking take it easy, like.
Okay. I don't necessarily agree with you there, but
It's regardless of what people think about bombings. What these two last people said, you and you, it's what's wrong with our education system. It's just ignorance. You know nothing about Muslim. You know nothing about Muslim culture. No, you know nothing about what the US is doing in Panama. You know nothing about the fucking oil crisis. You know nothing. These people are condemned into fucking poverty, so they have to fucking lash back. You know nothing. You're singing your fucking. I see you're wearing a blazer. You're wearing your probably Nike jumper that fucking supports poverty. You know absolutely nothing about what we're talking about. You know nothing about what you're talking about.
Okay, sit down. Join in the debate. Okay, sit down if you want to get involved in the debate. Okay, I'm not giving the mic to anyone who's not sitting down because I think this debate's getting a little overheated. I'm going to give it... Yeah, go on.
All I can say is anybody who expresses an intelligent opinion here gets shouted out, and that's a real sign of how society is developing and how people are proud of being ignorant, and I think that's really disturbing.
They take our jobs, they take our money.
Let me say something after you.
They take our money, they take our jobs, they get everything free from them. They come over to the country. All I ask for is they come over here.
Who's taking your job?
The Iraqis.
How have you?
I can fucking prove that, mate.
Okay, one at a time.
I've lost loads of jobs to fucking
How have you
Arabs.
lost a job?
Okay. Calm down. One at a time, please. I've turned it off because I just want. Go sit down. I'm going to pass it to him first, and then I'm going to give it to you. No. You need to. I'll come to you in a second. Okay. What was he trying to say?
I'm just wondering which jobs has everyone lost from immigration? Because it's like about sort of 2% at the most of the population is immigration.
Okay, what jobs have people lost from immigrants?
To be fair, there's not exactly many immigrants in Cornwall, to be honest. So I don't see why you were complaining about losing a job. Just get a job. If you're too lazy, for God's sake.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Hey! And I'll tell you who's making a killing in Iraq. Halliburton, all the private military companies, they're rinsing the money. You know? They were running empty trucks on the freeway because they were getting paid by the coffers. They had an open check, which means they were getting paid to run empty trucks regardless of what was in there. They were sending civilians, civilians into war. Yes, that's true. Check it up. Check your facts out.
So people are making a lot of money out of the war.
KBL, Halliburton, Dick Cheney's company.
Okay.
It was $8 billion a contract to rebuild a certain state in Iraq. An American company, Americans start the war, Americans get $8 billion to rebuild Iraq.
Okay.
All we come into, we come in Plymouth, we try to get a job. There's a foreign person, I would say, that already got that job because he's foreign. He get his tax paid for him, his house, his electric, everything he gets paid for him.
Okay.
That's only because he's from a foreign country.
All right. Okay. Okay. Do you want to make a point? No. Yeah.
I'd like to make a point. For instance, my GP, he's German. If he wasn't in the country, we'd be one GP less down. We need immigrants. I agree that there are some people that come into our country and exploit all the benefits that we experience. I agree. I know. Yeah, I'm still here. I know that people are coming in and taking.
Can you listen to this guy, please?
But there are important people, surgeons, economists, important people that come into our countries and also help us. London bombers, they're not immigrants. They're still Islamics. They're people that we are exploiting as a nation. The Americans, they're people that we're exploiting. They're going to fight back.
Okay. You wanted to say something?
But really, if you're angry at people coming and having the jobs, then maybe you should actually work a lot harder, like a lot of the people who are coming in and working their bollocks off 24/7. And really, I spent a lot of time on the dole, and really, there was no excuse for me to be on the dole. I got off my arse, create my own business, just do what you need to do to get yourself forward. And that's what the immigrants are doing themselves.
I basically all live in Saltash,
Yeah.
and it's hard enough for me to get a job. Any of all my friends to get a job.
Is that the fault of the immigrants?
Shut up.
Is that the fault of the immigrants?
No, bollocks.
Yeah.
Basically, it's hard enough for me and my mates to get a job in Saltash when we live there.
Yeah.
But then there's the Turkish people who've got businesses and everything.
Yeah.
And we haven't
What's
got
your
a job.
name?
What the fuck's that about, to be honest? It's all fucking bollocks, man, to be honest. Bollocks.
Okay.
Well, I'll be honest, I'm not a racist, I'm not a bigot, and I don't mind people coming into what I perceive as my country or anyone else's country, as long as they're going to contribute. And I think that a lot of people that do come into the country work very hard, and we should take a leaf out of their books and work as hard as they do to get ourselves better than anyone else. We've got people on a global scale. We've got a wonderful health service. We've got an absolutely wonderful education system. And we've got people like Brazil, Russia, we've got China, and they're going to train their kids up to be thoughtful and intelligent, and we should do the bloody same, and we should make everybody as intelligent as anyone else in the world. We should not at all breed bigots, because isolationism, you look at the States, that is rubbish. Absolutely. Isolationism, fuck isolationism. Let's get involved in the world and let's do something properly.
Most people in the States, well, I hate to generalise, but I mean, a lot of people in the States couldn't put Britain or Iraq on the map, nor could they put Australia.
Yeah, they don't know anything.
That their election was stolen from them twice. They don't know,
But what's that got to do with us
here? They don't have free healthcare in the NHS. In the US.
Yeah.
There's a problem with democracy, and it's falling away.
Okay.
Because we've entered this sort of militant way of thinking. There's a war. You need a war to consolidate nationalism. Because what is it? What binds a nation these days? It's so. Big brother. There we go.
Yeah.
But why would an immigrant come into our country? Is because we have all this stuff. We're a materialist nation. We have all this stuff.
Because we've got money and they want money too.
Absolutely. We're exploiting people in far off countries that then, they decide instead of earning 2 pence an hour, they decide they'd quite like to come over to our country and try and maybe take a job off of you, which they get. Why? Because maybe they're better educated, maybe they're better suited for that job, maybe they deserve that job.
Okay.
I just want to say something. I don't know if you've ever been abroad or worked abroad or lived abroad, but one of the most amazing things is to go somewhere, Brazil, anywhere for 1 year and be really welcomed and told to join in and join a community and have a fucking great blast. And when people come over here, you should give them some welcome.